When you click Sign in with Google, your password never actually goes to the app you're logging into. Not a single character. That's the whole point of OAuth 2.0. And once you understand why, you'll never think about login buttons the same way. OAuth 2.0 is an authorization framework that lets one application access resources on your behalf without ever seeing your credentials. Think of it like a hotel key card. When you check in, the front desk doesn't hand you the master key. They give you a card that only opens your room, only for the duration of your stay. The hotel keeps control, you get access. Nobody hands over anything more than necessary. That's OAuth. The app gets a limited, time-bound token. Your password stays with Google, or whoever holds your actual identity. Before OAuth, the common pattern was credential sharing. An app would say, give us your Gmail username and password and we'll check your inbox for you. People actually did this. Apps stored those passwords. Breaches exposed millions of accounts. Not because the app was hacked, but because the app never should have had those credentials in the first place. OAuth 2.0 changed that model entirely. Today, over 1 billion sign-ins per day flow through Google's OAuth infrastructure alone. Every time a developer adds Sign in with Google to their app, every time a sales tool connects to your calendar, every time a CI/CD pipeline pushes to GitHub on your behalf, OAuth is the mechanism underneath. If your team builds any web application with user accounts or integrates with a third-party API, you will deal with OAuth. Understanding it isn't optional. Here's the actual sequence of events when you click that button. Your browser sends you to Google's authorization server, not the app's server. This URL includes a few critical parameters: the client ID, which identifies the app requesting access, the redirect URI, which is where Google will send you back after you authenticate, the scope, which defines exactly what permissions are being requested, like read your email or see your profile, and the response type, which tells Google what kind of credential to return. You log in directly on Google's servers. The app never sees this interaction. Google then redirects your browser back to the app, to that redirect URI, with a short-lived authorization code in the URL. This code is not an access token, it's a one-time use voucher, and it expires in seconds. The app's backend server now makes a server-to-server call directly to Google, exchanging that authorization code for an access token. This exchange also includes the app's client secret, a credential that never touches the browser, which is what makes this step secure. Google validates everything and returns an access token. And if the app requested it, a refresh token and an ID token as well. The access token is what the app actually uses to make API calls on your behalf. And if this is the kind of mechanism you want to actually understand rather than just use, Stack Future covers one concept like this every day. Each token plays a different role. The access token is short-lived, typically an hour. The refresh token lets the app get a new access token without making you log in again. The ID token, which is a JSON Web Token or JWT, contains verified claims about who you are. That separation of concerns, authorization code, then access token, never the password, is the OAuth 2.0 authorization code flow. It's the most common and most secure variant. Say you're building a web app and you've added Google Sign-In. Users authenticate fine in development, but in production you're getting an error. Redirect mismatch. This is one of the most common OAuth errors developers hit. What's happening is the redirect URI your app is sending in the authorization request, something like https://yourappy.com callback, doesn't exactly match what's registered in Google Cloud Console under your OAuth 2.0 credentials. Google requires an exact string match. A trailing slash, an HTTP versus HTTPS mismatch, or a missing subdomain will all fail. You fix it by going into Google Cloud Console, selecting your OAuth client, and adding the exact URI your production app is using to the authorized redirect URIs list. Once that matches, the flow completes. The authorization code arrives at your callback endpoint, your backend exchanges it for tokens, and your user is signed in. That error message is opaque until you understand what OAuth is actually checking. Then it's immediately obvious. OAuth 2.0 is not about logging in. It's about delegating access without sharing credentials. The password stays with the identity provider. The app gets a scoped, time-limited token. That distinction is what makes modern web security functional. Next up, JWT tokens. What's actually inside them, and why a server trusts a token it's never seen before. If this video made OAuth click for you, press the like button. It genuinely helps these explanations reach more people.